I think that the question of recording is actually a fascinating one. Okay, culturally, okay, actually from a business perspective, the idea of recording a meeting, okay, was considered, is that legal? It's certainly not ethical, right? Like I think that you hit on a very good point, which is beforehand we didn't have the opportunity to record it. Okay, now recording has become very, very um, potentially acceptable. And in fact, there's huge benefits of it. You mentioned some of them for onboarding, for trainings. Geez, somebody missed a meeting, etc. And I think that in a certain sense, one of the things that's been corrosive in a lot of cultures is gossip and speaking poorly of other people. And I think in a certain sense, the fact that things are being recorded, it means that people have to watch what comes out of their mouth. Not generally a bad thing. I'll tell you how I do it, okay? Because I've done this many times. And we're recording something for some particular purpose. And then when we're done the meeting, I'll say, "Can I stop the recording? And I would love to have a little more chat with you." The recording comes off, and then the quote real conversation begins. And that part is not recorded. And for managers to recognize that they have to have that on and off recording conversation and not to assume that because it's recorded, everything's okay in terms of like I shouldn't say everything's okay, but that's enough to build the relationship. I think is kind of silly, right? And so many times at the end of the meeting, there's a joke in real life meetings, right? Everyone gets in the meeting takes place, and then the meeting is adjourned, and then all of a sudden there's the meeting that's after the meeting, right? And there's these conversations, I mentioned them serendipitous conversations. And those serendipitous conversations is when stuff really gets done and where relationships are actually bonded. And so I'm saying that we can do a little bit of that, okay, by when we're having a meeting, if it's a one-on-one meeting, to stop, or maybe a small group one at a certain point at the very end when the meeting's business is done, is to turn off the recording and then have those conversations or have at least the possibility of them. It's not the same.
So
Okay. And you're right. I think something's lost, but it's something.